The last 2 months have seen the Western Cape become an open field for service delivery protests and threats to make the province ungovernable. However, it's the murderous stick-fueled gang warfare that has had sectors of the community calling for the army. Residents of Hanover Park and neighboring areas of the so-called Cape Flats live each day in fear because it could very well be their last.
Anything makes me mad. Yeah. If you swim in massive, I kill you.
Anytime I go pull a gun, I skip your brains weg.
I got here. I was stabbed 3 times. I was stabbed in my back, in my side, and in my face. For a straw. 3 people robbed me for a straw of heroin.
Innocent children that were being shot here, even a baby as small as 3 years old in the road was shot.
Anything makes me mad.
Anytime I go pull a gun, I skip your brains weg. When 2 killers meet, 1 must die.
The Cape of Good Hope has in the last 2 months been the bloody battleground between various gangs on the Cape Flats. Most of the gangs are made up of young men who operate in cells for a higher level leadership of the gang. In an attempt to learn more about the gangs on the flats, we spent some time with them. Our first meeting was with a street gang called the Fancy Boys.
En hulle moet nie terug aan te ons soos maar voor het is wat ons kan gaga hier gronde nie. Hoop dis wat ons hulle spaanga nie. Kan gaga ouens om te ons is kan ons maar net ons bewys nog maar kwala ons is bereid. British sal staan en dis gronde sklawe tot so as kwala Britania maat op die tyd maar balang hy nog bangela British.
The gangs on the flats are divided and grouped under British and the opposing stars and stripes of the American flag. We tried to find out why.
We just can't talk it like this because everyone knows who are in different groups, benders, whatever they are. You see, they know, man. We can't talk so much that stuff.
Drugs and gangsterism go hand in hand and more often than not lead to a fatal end.
You see, they're smoking drugs and now the mind telling them do that and that. That's why they're shooting people who are not gangsters. They shoot them dead.
We asked this gang member the root cause of the upsurge in violence on the flats.
It's just about money. That is the main thing. People kill people.
Well, over boundaries?
Boundaries, grounds. Yes, this is our territory. No one comes here and say, yeah.
There is a shortage of positive role models for kids around this community.
It's a bad influence for the children to see this every day on the streets. But you know, here in the ghetto, this is how the life is, as you can see. This is the ghetto, this is how the life is. Children see every day, they see this stuff in the ghetto.
What is it that they see? I mean, what bad experiences?
Bigger people doing stuff, selling drugs, smoking drugs, doing everything like that, shooting people dead. Now kids, they see it, so they're growing up with it.
Gang members use tattoos called chappies to identify themselves as belonging to certain gangs. Gangs also have their own way of communicating, which is mostly developed in prison. This is called tusabela.
Si testin na bugalanga panu masun za diswana betekan nitya wala sana me diswana betekan yan salman parati sa mailita usali ginaw salik dala wala kanyo ate sugi ni sama tam na kumtikan puna na kibitin ni berkawan ais to balas na bukang ko eva parati Wala kasi kang agam to makin dala may kasi kang agam to batala bati pansa batala puna kana pratis lang ano pangila pratis
pa kami sa pinan ya ka sa pila bati kundela banan ikam van even pratis ka pala ska ngaga bro ay panggilan di man tekan pa kami sa pratis sa lubruga mama forma.
In a corner at the back of Hanover Park is a small area called the Back Streets. This area is run and controlled by one of Cape Town's oldest gangs.
Boroko Bili it's a pride, it's a cultural thing. In those days till now.
The mongrels are not only known as one of Cape Town's oldest gangs, but also one of the most vicious. Of course, they deny this.
The people up here, they respect Mongrela heavy. Respect them great. If they want something, want to do, we do it for them. We always tell the children go to school. We don't keep them away. I don't force you to be a gangster for Mongrela. You come on your own free will and I ask you why you want to be a mongrel.
They may deny their notoriety, but the bullet holes on the walls tell tales of many gun battles. The X's on the walls are put there by police after they've raided a house. Some more evidence that the police are keeping a close eye on the mongrels.
We know we make a mistake last time. It was 9 months ago. We show you how we love for the community. To give them the showing. They don't want to understand.
How do you live with the community?
With the community, like people, like nice, like our homes here. That's why we give up the people. We cleaning the yards. Then we got money. Then with that money we got, we buying food. There's a soup kitchen.
Police visibility and presence is also very high here.
They are arresting you. They got there, right? They suspected us. Then they take us to the place in the police station. They torture us, hit us.
Graffiti seen on the wall is more than just that. It communicates messages only understood by gang members.
MGP13 is mongrel B13.
Yeah.
That's it.
If I want to be a mongrel, what's my way in? Well, how do you?
one gate in and another gate out.
No. My bro, but it's a colobos parabati, but you to Kobe. You want to be a mongrel? The choice is yours.
Having agitated the elderly gang member, we thought it best to be on our way. Just around the corner, we bumped into a much wilder gang made up of much younger and more vicious men.
What's the gang name called?
Tola kids. Tola kids.
And what's your claim to fame? What's your?
We look for money and blood. Money and blood.
Uh-huh.
That's the most important thing. Kruwen and Bovana.
So what do you stand for, man? Kroon and Bovana.
Kruwen and Bovana, yeah.
Yes, sure, we like to Kroon and money. That's our thing.
But don't you scared when you walk in the street, maybe you'll get shot by someone else?
That's our thing, stars and stripes.
What do you say?
Aren't you scared maybe you'll get shot by another?
You must remember one thing. You must remember one thing.
When 2 killers meet, one must die.
Well, how do you guys make money?
How we make
Money
money?
we sell drugs.
Sell drugs.
Drugs.
What kind of drugs?
Heroin, unga,
Patents.
poepdaga.
Okay, can I talk to you? How much does tip go for?
A pakkie is 30 rand and 20 rand and 50 rand and 100 rand.
A button?
A button is 22 rand
Oh,
and a whole one is 30,
44 and
44 rand, yeah.
Okay, and do you make? Why do you sell drugs?
A dog is a dog that bites people, you see?
Net.
Yeah,
Is it your
it's
name?
Mad. When he come loose, that's my name.
when he starts to
Call me
bark.
Mad Dog, yes.
What makes you mad?
Anything makes me mad.
Yeah.
You swim in my shit, like you.
Is it Kijk, Tola kid.
They show it belongs to the gang.
This is the safe way, the safest way I can survive on planet Earth.
So what do you mean?
Anytime I go pull a gun, I skip your brains weg.
It's all fun and games until someone loses their life. Young men are dying in their numbers on the flats as a result of this war they're waging on each other through their gangs. We spoke to Nicole Africa, a 21-year-old mother who has recently lost the father of her 6-month-old son to a smoking gun.
Then I went outside and stand by them, and we were talking a lot and stuff like that, making jokes. And then the other guy came and he said, yeah, the ghettos is like here. So he said, I must come in. So I'm like, no, I'm not going in. Come with me in. So I didn't want to come. So I shouted the whole time, come in, come in. So he didn't. So he just ran. And so they shot him.
The late Devron was in the Americans gang called the Spoiled Brats and had been in and out of prison until just before his death.
It's a feeling I can't explain. I feel hurt. I don't know. And I don't know what to do anymore. I just drink a lot to forget about all that. But I can't. That doesn't help. And I pray a lot just to take the pain away, to ease my heart a bit. Because I've lost like a lot.
Life is still hard, if not worse for Nicole, in the middle of the battleground.
We like scared to go to the shops and stuff like that. Because they don't care. It's broad daylight, everyone's outside and they started shooting. So they don't care about other people and innocent people and the children.
Devron's parents have now taken in Nicole to help raise their grandson. We asked Devron's mother why gangsters have such a firm grip on their community.
But a lot of the gang leaders, gang members, you know, they got money, they got cars, they can offer the children a lot of things that their parents can't. So they buy the children clothes, they buy them tekkies, expensive tekkies. Every young child in Hanover Park wants to have something that's got the name brand. His parents can't give it to him. Where better else? They get involved in the gang, they get sent, they do anything. Because that's the things they are getting out of the gang.
We asked Devron's mother if there were any signs of what danger lay ahead.
Knowing your child and knowing their friends and knowing what they are doing. So that you can pick up the signs very early.
What should parents do to prevent damage caused by gangs in their families?
As a mother, must give tough love.
Devron's family now fears raising the rest of their kids in the same neighborhood.
Your other children grow up to they live in fear. Like it was school holidays, now June holidays. Our children couldn't play outside. Because there were innocent children that were being shot here. Even a baby as small as 3 years old in the road was shot. The children don't have the privacy. They can't play outside. They're still children. They don't have freedom here in Hanover Park if the gang wars is on. They can't even go to school.
How's that? Is that and the young children that are growing up, are they getting also the influence?
They get the influence because it becomes like something normal. Each generation it gets passed on to generation. They grow up, they see it, they think it's right. Tomorrow they also join a gang. Then they come a new generation and they also grow up. Because a child is something, if a child sees things and everything they see, they think it's right.
Unfortunately, it seems Devron's life won't be the last one lost in this way.
You don't even feel like going outside. Because you're living in a place of fear. You're busy inside and you hear gunshots, you must run because your children are playing outside and it's not normal to live like that.
How did you end up here? How do you think Hanover Park as a community ended up here?
I really don't know.
Death is often the only way out for kids involved in gangs and drugs. It, however, doesn't have to be. An NGO called First Community Resource Center helps recover children who want a way out of gangs and drugs. We spoke to 2 recovering addicts.
It is an everyday struggle because we have the choice to use or not to use, to live or to die. At the end of it, it comes down to living, man. If you want your life back, you're going to have to live. And this program has taught me how to grow spiritually, man, because I feel that drug warfare is about a spiritual battle. It steals your hope, it steals everything away from you, your dignity, your pride.
Drugs almost ended this young lady's life.
This market I got here, I was stabbed 3 times. I was stabbed in my back, in my side, and in my face. For a straw. 3 people robbed me for a straw of heroin. Still, I didn't learn my lesson. I still went back and I still went to go use. And then another occasion also, I slept at my friend's place one night and the candle was behind me and both of us fell asleep. When I opened my eyes, I was on fire. Everything, my whole body, everything was on fire, but I didn't have a burn mark on my body. So that also showed me that God is with me, man, and I have to get out of this rut that I'm in.
Were you high?
I was as high as I was doing heroin, I was doing meth, and I was doing patterns at night. So I was out.
According to the girls' experiences, drugs and gangs are inseparable.
Drugs breeds gangsters because, you know, if you're a youngster, you want to conform with the norm, like society, like she said, society is going this way, so everybody goes this way. For the norm, youngsters are all going this way because drugs is now like the in thing in Cape Town. The gangs in the areas that we live in, where I was living now in Hanover Park, there was gang war going on, so we were too scared to come out of the houses because we're going to get shot, and now you're still on drugs. It's dangerous, and you outside, they robbing, they stealing, you know, there's different gangs, territorial, and they all battling each other for no reason. I don't get the whole gang thing. The concept of a gangster is I feel that they want to belong to something, you know. So why not belong to Jesus, you know?
Pulling kids out of these situations can't be an easy task. We speak to a man who has dedicated his entire life to them.
Covered with the brochure. Thanks, bro. Okay.
Pastor Engel is based in Hanover Park and probably knows the streets better than anyone trying to stop the war.
If we look in Hanover Park, there's quite a few gangs operational here. You get your organized gangs, and then you get your splinter groups. But at this point in time, we've got about 14 or 15 organized gangs in Hanover Park.
Listen here, I believe there was another.
This is the Flinty area that's been controlled by the mongrel gang, one of the oldest gangs in Hanover Park.
Looking at this map, we get a much better understanding of just how rife gangsterism is in Hanover Park.
There's guys coming from this area across the board here over to the gang. This whole areas here is being controlled by one of the gangs in Hanover Park, and that's the American gang, a combination of two gangs, young American and ugly American.
The violence here isn't a coincidence or a freak of nature.
It's a very structured and organized group of young men that has come together and decided this is what they are going to do. So yeah, at the end of the day, only the bad part of them, you know, goes out there. But it's a group of men that's organized, but they are doing the wrong thing. So our challenge is to take that which they have, organizational skill, and to fold it into a more positive way. Because they've got this leadership skills, they've got organizational skills, they know how to recruit young men off the road. So taking that and turning it into a positive way, I mean that there is hope for that. But at this point, gangsterism is tormenting our community in a bad way.
According to the Resource Center, the situation here is dire.
Out of the community reporting to us, I mean, and we had to verify those killings and attempted murders. So we looked at, in the last 6 months, 17 killings, and all by gun. And then we looked at about 31 attempted murders, also all by gun. But drug houses obviously is much prevalent in this area. If I just look at this little bit of a community here, so our area is broken up into 10 clusters. You know, there's 10 clusters on our mapping. We've broken up into 10 clusters. This one cluster alone will have about 20 to 21 drug outlets. Goes from alcohol to amphetamine, or tic as they call it, and heroin. And in this particular pocket where we are sitting here now, the best heroin is being sold, which tells us a lot of clients will be coming into this area. So there's about 21 outlets just in this small area. That's besides the other 9 areas, which will have their own drug outlets.
First Community Resource Center approaches the solution to the violence in a different manner from other stakeholders.
The way forward for us basically at this point in time is we are looking at all different kind of initiatives, how to sort of reduce the violence in Hanover Park. And Hanover Park has been approached to sort of get involved with the VPUU project and also the ceasefire project. So looking at what we are doing currently and how we can amalgamate those programs and projects with what we are doing, and it's all steered at altering the behavior of high-risk individuals. So that is the one way forward, you know. The other way forward, you already mentioned it, increased policing in the area. And if there's increased policing and visibility of police everywhere, and maybe bringing the police station in a more closer proximity, because police station is sitting out in Philippi and we are out here in Hanover Park. So all those together will probably reduce crime and violence. We will be measuring. With the process we're busy with now, we will be measuring. It will be research driven, you know, so it's not going to be speculation as to say that crime is coming down and situation are changing. It's going to be research driven. So the way forward for us, we are very positive about the Hanover Park and about what's going to happen here. And we've got specialized guys that we've been training over the last couple of months to be involved in this project and the process. And we've got the City of Cape Town and provincial government also backing the process of the way forward. Not where we at now, the way forward. So Hanover Park looks like we can have we can actually nail violence in the bud by maybe 50% reduction in shooting in the next year.
The MEC of Community Safety in the Western Cape, Dan Plato, says he is disappointed the national government will not be bringing in the army.